Hi, I'm Jana, and this is a Real Mom car tour of the 2024 GMC Acadia AT4. And this is the sister vehicle, fraternal twin to the Chevy Traverse Z71. This is going to have more elevated and premium interiors, but it's going to have a lot of the same systems that people know and love about the Z71.
If you're new here, I'm glad you found me. Hi, I'm Jana, and I give Real Mom car tours. I am a boy mom, auto enthusiast, and I'm an Aquarius, which means my life and sometimes these tours are a little bit chaotic, but they are fun. So buckle up and let's get back to it.
The first thing that's unique to this trim level, you get the smoky looking chrome grille, your red recovery hooks, and there is also a metal skid plate underneath and another metal plate to protect your engine and keep it clean down there. 18-inch wheels on all-terrain tires. And notice this wheel well is different than the one I showed you in Denali. Denali has a body colored. Because of the all-terrain tires, this is bumped out, and then you have this light in your wheel well, which people really love. You can see your quad exhaust, which is inspired by the Corvette C8 exhaust. You have your AT4 badge in the back, and then you also have what GMC calls some of the best in-class cargo. So in the AT4, you do have a manual pull to get these up and down, and it's actually pretty easy to do. I think one of the most important things to know is that they'll fold flat. So if you need to haul a ton of stuff, you can do it in your AT4 Acadia. You have your black roof rails on top, and then you show your AT4 badging in the back. I'm gonna have to move to a different spot to get you some more stuff on this one because it is wild out here. In the driver's seat of AT4, our finishes are a little bit different in here than you're gonna find in Denali. Just the colors and some of the materials used. And of course you have AT4 in your headrest. I still have a Pano roof in here, but it's hot as heck. I have a wireless charging pad. And in Denali, this has a cover. In AT4, it does not. I just noticed that. You do have a pass-through. A really nice storage area here with the 2 cup holders on the back of this, which makes it easy for kids access their stuff. This is a camera that your Super Cruise is going to use to make sure that your eyes are on the road. This will light up green when Super Cruise is engaged, and you engage it by using these buttons on your steering wheel, and you can move your speed up or down with this button. This is your voice assistance, and you have Google Voice. Google, what's the weather?
Oops, something went wrong with the connection. Try again.
It worked 3 seconds ago when I did a short form video. You have the electronic gear shifter has been moved up on the column, which has opened up all this space, and that's how we have the pass-through and a large armrest area. This 11-inch driver display is all digital, and we have a really big head-up display, and it's always hard to show those, but it's there in case you can kind of see it, I hope. There's a head-up display, and this is your 15-inch screen, which is different than the Chevy Traverse sister version of it, because theirs is integrated and is turned the other way. A couple of things about your screen in the new Acadia. This is where you're going to control whether you're locking the windows in the back, your auto high beams traction control, if you want to access your camera views, and you have multiple really good camera views. I'll just toggle you through a few of that's looking down at the front of your Acadia, the back over the trailer hitch area of Acadia, and this is looking at the front sides to see if you're trying to navigate through a tight space, and then the sides of the rear. And then this looks down at your trailer hitch. So I really love, this is HD surround vision cameras. I think it looks really great. You have Alexa built in, Google built in. You also have ambient lighting, and I wish I could show you this at night because it is one of my favorites, but you have all these choices of ambient lighting, so you can just set the mood and customize what your vibe is. Today, this is definitely me. Some days I'm feeling more blue, yellow, red's good. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna leave it at hot pink for the next person. The other thing I really like about this screen is that it's customizable. You see here in this layout, you can switch what you want to show up in this box. So if I want my trip information, if I want it Google, but I probably want my audio there. And you can move these around and change them. This is what your nav looks like, and your nav is built in. I will say this is one of the best navigation experiences I've had thus far. It works really well. Obviously, wireless connectivity, Bluetooth, and a Wi-Fi hotspot. You have a camera in your rear view mirror, a place to put your sunglasses, and just in case you don't believe me about how pretty the pano roof is, I'm going to let you see it for yourself. It's all the way back to cover both the first and second rows. In the second row of AT4, I have my vents up top on either side. The cup holders are here. I control my climate back here. I do have heated seats, 2 USB-C charging ports, and a traditional household plug, and a little cubby for storage. There is a nice Bose sound system so you can listen to all your music, 2 sets of lower latches, and 3 top tethers. I do want to mention that every Acadia is configured for 7 passengers. So 2, 2, and 3. They are not currently offering a bench seat for the second row, which gives you a pass through so you can get to the third row. And in the third row, on each side, you have 2 cup holders and 2 USB-C charging ports. So everybody has the same thing. And your vents for third row are up top. I do want to show you what it's like getting in the third row and what it looks like. So I'm going to try to do that relatively gracefully, but first I need to put the third row up. It does have a car seat tilt, which means you should not have to uninstall a forward-facing car seat to get into the third row. I've got a forward-facing car seat. Really quickly, I just want to show you. This is a different Acadia. I've been in 1,000 of them. But if you, let me see it, pull this handle, your car seat, the seat is going to tip and slide and get out of your way so that you can access the third row without jumping through hoops of fire. And it's really easy to use. You have 2 sets of lower latches like I showed you in your top tethers. And let me show you, this is what it looks like. A lot of people don't know how to use their top tethers, but this is what it looks like. See? So obviously, well, not obviously, I always say obviously, this seat's pretty far back. That's not set for me, it's set for somebody else. But it can be done. And this is what it looks like when you put your top tether on. So I showed you the other one was a power adjustment. This one is a manual adjustment. And then these seats on rails, so they can go up and back. Let me just show you that one more time for the cheap seats. All right, so we got baby in the forward facing and then tip and slide. That looks a little more realistic, doesn't it? So we're not bashing baby's head. So you don't have to uninstall that, and then people can get right into the third row with no problems. These seats are also on rails, which means they can move up and back, giving extra leg room to whoever needs it. There's somebody passing. There's a sensor that tells you, if something's in your blind spot. So back here, this is the third row seat. It is not bad. I mean, it's a little, I wouldn't put 3 adults in this third row, but I can't think of a third row where I would put 3 adults, to be honest with you. So that's not a big deal there. And the finishings in Acadia feel really premium. I like how they've stretched this. I may have already said this in another place in the video. I do these videos, just in case you don't know, in multiple parts. So I'll do all the outside in one spot, or I'll do all the inside, or half the inside, or whatever I get time for, and I have to shoot it twice. So I have to shoot it this way for YouTube, and then I have to turn it and shoot it all over again in shorter parts for TikTok and Instagram. So sometimes things get redundant and you can't remember if you mentioned something, but did you mention it the right way? And Godspeed. New Acadia, 10.6 inches longer, 3.2 inches taller, and it's also a little bit wider. And AT4 is a smidge wider, and it's because of those all-weather tires. the way those bump out, which makes your wheel well bump out a little, just stretches the vehicle slightly. And I think it's something like a 1/2 inch. So it's not huge. This feels like driving a bigger truck to me. I felt like I was sitting up higher. I felt wider, but I parked it just fine and I turned corners and was on narrow roads just fine. So even though I felt substantial and big and commanding, I was able to control it like I would a much smaller vehicle. Here's a view from the third row of AT4. Here are your cup holders, your USB-Cs. This is how you would exit the third row by pulling that latch. If you're back here, you can see the same amenities. And notice these windows. If you were prone to motion sickness or getting car sick, you are less likely if you can see out better. And these windows have been stretched and the glass comes back pretty far, which gives you privacy in your cargo area, in your hatch, but it also lets people in the third row see out better and hopefully enjoy the ride more. Beaufort, South Carolina, and since I see a horse here, let's talk about horsepower. So cute down here. First of all, it has a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It's going to make 328 horsepower and generate 326 pound-feet of torque. And before you come at me and say you don't want a 4-cylinder or this isn't capable or you can't tow a boat, I'm going to stop you right there. It is capable. You would rather have a turbocharged 4-cylinder than to have a regular V6. The turbo is going to only kick in when you're pressing the accelerator and it's going to get more air and more gas going to your engine. So you're going to have more horsepower and more torque, more low-end torque. So I'm going to act like you don't know what I'm talking about because, like, I don't know, 3 months ago I probably didn't know what I was talking about. The low-end torque is when you press the accelerator and you immediately take off. On a V6, you're going to go and you're going to gradually escalate your speed like this, and you'll get there and it'll feel good. The turbocharged 4-cylinder, you're going to have more of an immediate response and then level out. So if you're like me and you want to make maneuvers and you want to just get onto the highway really quickly, if you need to pass a car, get in front of somebody, make a lane change, this turbocharged 4-cylinder is going to give me a peppier, more immediate response to make those maneuvers in traffic. And then when I'm not doing that and I'm not actively pushing the accelerator, I'm going to get better MPG on average. I tried to do this without sunglasses and I cannot. Have the entry-level trim level, which is called Elevation. Then you have the Denali trim level, which is going to be obviously top of the line premium. In between that, your more capable, sporty, rugged, more off-roading type is going to be your AT4. Oh gosh darn, my freaking microphone. A couple of things you need to know about AT4 specifically. You're going to have an extra inch of lift, of ground clearance. It's also going to be a little bit wider, and that's what I was telling you, because of your all-terrain tires on these 18-inch wheels, this wheel well is shaped a little bit differently and it's a little bit bumped out. And they also put these lights, which they said customers really love. You're also going to have an AT4 tuned suspension, and you're going to have 2 unique drive modes. You're going to have off-road drive mode and terrain drive mode, and I'm going to show you both of those. Let's talk MPG. It's going to vary based on if you have a front-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive vehicle. I will put up a box so you can see the exact specifics. You have your AT4 badging all the way around so that people know that's what it is. And you have some different interiors. So you'd have all these different drive modes, which I'm going to show you. You still have premium interiors. And it does come with available Super Cruise, which is the hands-free driving technology that you can even use if you were towing or trailering. And this can tow up to 5,000 pounds. Oh, your family to the lake. And you have all the cameras so you can see what you're doing, which is wonderful. Tows up to 5,000 pounds, which I told you. And the best part is, if your Acadia is equipped with Super Cruise, you can actually tow a boat hands-free. The only thing I haven't told you is pricing. There are 3 trim levels: Elevation, AT4, and Denali. It's going to start in the mid 40s and top out in the high 50s, depending on trim level and whether it's front wheel or all-wheel drive. So let me know what you thought of the 2024 GMC Acadia AT4. I've had a lot of fun driving this one. I think it is really premium. I do think it's capable, and I think it would be a great family vehicle, especially for my sporty families and people that like to do some off-pavement driving. Going to the lake house, going to the mountain house. I love that it has a car seat tilt. I love that it has Super Cruise. And I love how the seats are just so high. There's a lot of high-end premium touches in there that I really do appreciate. So if you like this video and you would like to see more, like and subscribe to Real Mom Car Tours. I'm all over social media at TikTok and Instagram, and I even have a website, realmomcartours.com. And if you like the AT4, you will love the Denali trim level, and that video is also up on my YouTube channel where I give a full tour inside and out, and I tell you what I loved and what you need to know about the all-new GMC Acadia Denali trim level. So I think that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching.